seconds.
15 degrees, you can see your breath. Out here in the lake effect, breaking tables like it's poetry. Where else would you rather be? Pinto, Ron, Elvis in the lay poncho. The members that you need to know. 'Cause once you're out here now, your family. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be?
Welcome into the Nickel City Crew. I am your host, Rob Crippen. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nickel City Crew. This episode, along with all of our episodes, are presented by Crippen Legacy Entertainment here on Spreaker and StreamYard. We're so glad that you're joining us for some of your Buffalo Bills and NFL content again today. And as always, these are my Bills thoughts said out loud.
It's a vibe so ridiculous. Since 12 plus 83 was 6. The shout rocking like a symphony. Where else would you rather be?
All right, let's get straight to it. Really excited for tonight's episode. A 2025 Buffalo Bills season is inching closer. Got a preseason game Sunday night. We'll talk about joint practices with the Chicago Bears today, earlier in the day, in the late afternoon. Joining me tonight, as always, my co-host, riding shotgun, as always, Adam Dumptruck Rupsick. Check him out on Instagram and Twitter at Adam Rupsick, RUPCZYK. Holla at the crew, DT. We are getting even closer. You're getting warmer.
It's fine. The summer always does, and man, it's training camp's over. Training camp's over. They're back at One Bills Drive, and we're already in the preseason game too. And it's annoying that it's 8:00 on Sunday night, but we'll get into that later. But man, dude, flying. We're less than a month where you and I are going to be on Sunday night, sitting in the stadium, not too far from where I am right now.
Yeah, man, it's crazy how fast it's leading up on us and it's creeping up on us because of the fact that you kind of get those situations where, the summer's just dragging on and everything's dragging on the offseason and the draft and you got everything. Listen, I think our Buffalo Bills, DT, have kind of tidied up their last loose ends. On Wednesday morning, when people were getting ready for work, 7:30 in the morning, Adam Schefter breaks the news. James Cook comes to an agreement with the Buffalo Bills. 4 years, $48 million, $30 million guaranteed, and we'll kind of go over that because I know that some of those numbers were a little bit falsified by the agent. But nevertheless, DT, it was a situation where I don't want to take a victory lap, but I kind of have to take at least a little jog. I thought that Brandon Beane knew the importance of this playmaker, this explosive option in the Bills offense with Josh Allen, and now this new mantra of everybody eats under Joe Brady. I thought it was really important to bring him back. I didn't think that they would. Remember, we talked about it, that's why I named the episode the way that I did. I don't think he wanted bad vibes. He even kind of spoke to that after the contract extension. DT, Brandon Beane pulls another one. He has now signed 5 draft picks this offseason, and James Cook was the last one, and it was obviously the most complicated one, but I'm really glad that it got done. I thought that it was necessary.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see for what most of them are on 4-year. We'll see in 4-year if it was a genius move or, it put us in some cap jail with some players that didn't perform from us. But I think it's going to be the first option. All these players, I think there's really no qualms with any of the deals signed. There was some decent sized ones, there was not the biggest one, but there was not the smallest one. And I think all this whole draft class that got re-signed, deserved it in all their ways. They've made plays for this team and have led us to an inch away from being in the Super Bowl and possibly hoisting the trophy and being on a Super Bowl roster. So we're going to continue with that. Last week we talked about 4 being, it love it or hate it, I think it just got to happen. Get us out of here. We can't afford any distractions. We can't afford that inch left. And the end of the day, second biggest playmaker on the team, 17 needed him, and it got done. It was an exact deal with what everybody's been talking about the last 3 months, which was kind of annoying because it was like, why did it get to this point if we were just going to hit it for the deal that we thought that was going to be the deal 3 months ago, like just do it at that point. But I get there's business involved and waiting it out. And I think Kyron Williams really had a lot to do with that
I
for
think
the
so.
negative of James Cook. I think James Cook still thought he was up getting the 14, 15, and then Williams comes with the 11 and he's like, all right, we'll do 12 and 48. So a lot of the salary cap isn't real, yada, yada, this and that. The burn year at the end, we'll see. But I don't care about any of that, Rob. I care about this year, right now. This squad's back intact. Everyone's happy. Now everyone's got a bag. So go out and let's get it.
Oh man, you're stealing. We didn't even have show notes today, and you're
You
stealing
didn't
my
send
notes.
me the notes, Rob.
I don't even have show notes today. We riffing today because it's funny because everything that I'm thinking about, you just have hit on in respects to the fact that, and some of the Twitter arguments I've had and stuff like that. Like now, shout out to Greg Thompson. That's TOMPSETT. That's Greg Cover One. I know he's a big time guy. I'm hoping to have him on the show pretty soon, DT. But him and I got into some arguments about agents and about what pushed what across the line. And you kind of hit on it at the end. When by the time Wednesday came and it was hours in, I didn't care anymore to argue with him. I just, you know what I mean? I kind of just signed off and like, listen, man, we'll agree to disagree, because to me, the most important thing obviously is that he's on the team. One of the things that I was kind of fixated on earlier in that process was like after the 7:30 the news drops from Schefter was like, well, how did this deal get across the table? Because you're absolutely right. I've heard from multiple people that that are in the know that James Cook was in fact asking for Saquon money or McCaffrey money. He was asking for crazy money. And I look at it like it's a negotiation, DT. We know what that's like. Listen, we're going to shoot for the moon and then we'll settle on the stars. We're willing to settle on the stars if we have to, but we're going to ask for the moon. We're going to try to go after the moon.
Why wouldn't you?
I think that that's just basic negotiation. So when it comes to what happened and what didn't happen, I think that there is no way possible. And Brandon Beane kind of spoke to it in his press conference after the deal that they asked him, said, Brandon, were you worried about this becoming a little bit of distraction after the whole thing started? And he said, you know what, Josh, I was a little bit worried about it. You know what I mean? So my thing was that I think the holdout worked. The hold-in, worked. And I think that whether it was the same deal that he was always offered the entire time, I find that kind of hard to believe, but fine. If that was the same deal and he just magically signed it, because what did Brandon say? In order for us to get back to the table, he had to go back to practice. So are you trying to tell me that after he puts that mandate and dad says, get your ass in the house, and he comes back in the house, then all of a sudden you get everything that you asked for? I don't believe that. I think that it was a negotiation the entire way. I think that when he held out, they were caught off guard. I don't think that they expected that, because he came to minicamp, came to OTAs, came to training camp, what he practiced the first 7 practices, and then he takes the hold in. I think he took that approach because of the fact that the agent was trying to tell him that what Diana Rossini and what Tom Pelissero had reported last week was true. We're close on this thing, and I think it was the guaranteed money. We're close on this thing, but hold in for him, skip practice, and let them know how much they really do need you. You're not going out there tomorrow in a worthless preseason game. You're not going to risk injury. We're gonna chill out this entire week, just to kind of send home the point that James Cook matters to the offense. Let's not play around. And I think it made a difference, DT. I think it did.
I respect it, Rob. To be honest, it's a good move. It's in the negotiate. Even doesn't even have to be about football. Just in the negotiation world, as busy, we're two businessmen and out there. Like that's a good move. That's a good move. If it is close and it's back and forth, and the Bills are kind of pulling the we got control. We're the owner, the commissioner, whatever. All right, I won't practice this week. And then okay, all right, chill. We got you. And I thought that's good. It's a good move. And I respect every bit of it. And Josh Allen said it I think maybe it was on Hard Knocks or just in an interview this week of like, this is like millions of dollars. This is generational wealth. This is setting up your family and your kids kids with this type of money. Like
we talked about that.
If I had a deal like this big at work, like I would be probably taking the day to like get ready for it, to go in for the negotiation. And because he doesn't practice, like we're talking millions of dollars. Like,
that's
so
right.
I can't be on the guy for not practicing. He played his cards. He did what he had to do. He came, he played team. He
Showed good faith.
said
Showed
team,
good faith.
knew he needed to be there for the team. And when it
Showed
was,
good
all
faith.
right, I've been here a little while, I'm good. Now negotiations are close. I'll chill out this week. I'll get the deal done. And now I'm back going harder than ever. Now I'll show you why you paid me these millions of dollars. And that's exactly what we want from him. So great negotiation tactics. I agree. It's people that are critical of these things are like so simple-minded, to be honest. Like
Oh,
this is
DT.
this is so much money. Like if this deal was about to happen in your personal life, it'd be like you would like I need the day to like get all my ducks in a row, like be all right. Like this is not this is well, it is a big deal, but it's not a big deal he missed. It was a negotiation tactic. It worked. Everyone wins, and hopefully we all win. Seeing four score 16 more touchdowns this year, and that 12 million is a bargain.
You know, it's funny because you said that, and it gives me flashbacks, and I've got that PSTD, you know what I mean, from the Stephon Diggs stuff. Remember when he doesn't come to OTAs and everybody wants to fire him and everybody wants to get him out of town? DT, you may be surprised or you may not be surprised. Half of Bills Mafia was ready to ship him out after Saturday when he skipped the preseason game. And I was on Twitter fighting with people like, why would you even think that he would want to play in that game with no deal? First of all, Josh Allen's not playing. Obviously, Josh is on a different tier. What did McDermott say? The starter's going to play probably a quarter. So obviously, James Cook's the starter. He's going to play probably a quarter. However, there's no way without my money that I'm stepping on the field and I'm getting ready to make $5 million. And my entire point is that I need a raise and I am deserving of a raise. So because of the fact that he thought he deserved a raise, why would you ever even think that he was going to be on the field? Boy, DT was Bills Mafia. Not all. I put my hands up. I would never accuse all of you. Half of Bills Mafia, and y'all know who you are. I was fighting with y'all on Twitter afterwards and Instagram. Mad and said, ship him out. He's selfish. Get rid of him. I'm sick of this shit. And I said, wait. Can everybody just slow down and remember that this is the business part of it? This is not the glitz and glamour part of it. This is the business part where he is trying to set up his family. And I don't know if he's got a lady friend or not. I know he doesn't have any kids. That doesn't even matter. Listen, he's trying to set up himself and his family for generational wealth. If he does the right things by the money, his grandkids gonna have a couple change, a little bit of change in their pocket by the time he's long and gone. So to me, it was a situation where I never faulted the man for trying to get his money because that is allowed in the NFL. You are allowed to negotiate, and if you think you've outplayed your contract, DT, come to the table and let them know that you think you outplayed it. Because who wants to be paid less than what they're worth? Who?
Yeah,
not even you, Bills Mafia.
If you scored the equivalent of 16 touchdowns in your own personal job last year, if you put up 16 tutties at your personal job last year, you would be like, man, these MFers are underpaying me. I need more money, and I'm going to start dogging it till I get paid more, and they know what they really have. Every single one would do that. The equivalent of 16 tutties at your job. Strive for that, Nickel City crew. Strive for that on this Feel Good Friday. To score 16 tutties at your job this year. If you can do that, you'll then come talk to us about this argument.
Oh man, DT, you are so funny, but you are hitting it on the head. I was flabbergasted by it. But because of the Stephon Diggs, like I said, I've got the PTSD. I was not surprised by it, but it was wide ranging. And just get him, every other person, get him out of town, get him. I'm like, why do you want him fired and off of the team because he's trying to get paid?
Can't have the cake and eat it. You can't have both.
It doesn't make any sense. Listen, you made a great point about the vibes, and that's why I named the episode the way that I did, because at your job, when you're happy, listen, I a business owner, you know what I mean, managing people, different things like that. A happy employee is the best employee. Now that doesn't mean that I'm giving him or her X amount of dollars above their value. I might be paying them right on value and then giving some bonus incentives. But listen, if I treat them right, if I treat them with respect, if I'm making sure that I'm buying lunch on Fridays, if I'm doing different things like that, I have found that a happy employee is the best employee. I do not think Brandon Beane wanted that smoke, as the kids would say, when it came to the 2025 year. We talked about it in the beginning of season 5, DT, about how I was worried about that. That was the only thing I was worried about. If you want to make him play out his rookie contract, that's fine. That's your prerogative, Buffalo Bills. That's your prerogative, Brandon Beane. He might be pissed about it. You know what I mean? And I just didn't think that it was worth it. Clearly, Brandon Beane didn't think that he was worth it. Bills Mafia, you want to know the numbers, you could check them out on Buffalo Rumblings. Shout out to Sarah Larson over there at Buffalo Rumblings. I know we got our friend Fernando Schmood out there in Brazil. He's a partner with her over there at Buffalo Rumblings. She broke it down perfectly today. I checked it over. DT is absolutely right. It's actually 11.5 a year. The 30 million guaranteed included the 5 million that he was already getting paid this year. So that's just classic agent inflation. And everybody greasing everybody's palms. They tell Adam Schefter, put this out as 30 million guaranteed, and down the road, I'm gonna be hooking you up with different information. So you know what I mean? That type of thing. So it's not really 30 million guaranteed. It's really just it's essentially a 3-year, $30 million contract, DT. That's what it is. They've got outs after year 4 where they can kind of skate away from this thing if it's not going well or if he starts to age. But I thought that Brandon Beane was spot on when he talked about the tread on the tires.
Yes.
This guy has not played much at Georgia. He was a backup. Then he came here and he backed up Devin Singletary. Then he got the mantle and he was not a bell cow. This is not a guy with some crazy amount of tread on his tires. I know he turns 26, I think, next month in September. No problem. 26, 27, 28 seasons. I mean, I think I can squeeze the most out of that juice, DT.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I started realizing this week when they were talking about it, the tread on the tires, that's huge, especially for running backs, Rob. Like there's no old running backs. There's like 2 in our history, like Adrian Peterson and like Derrick Henry. Like what else?
Derrick
like
Henry.
There's no old running backs. So yeah, that is huge. And just being kind of coming into his own, just like Josh Allen, coming into his own in the NFL. He was always talented, always versatile, only played 47% of the snaps for us last year with 16 touchdowns. Played under half the snaps with 16 tutties. So I love it. He's fresh. He's elusive. He's quick. He's everything, we need for that change of pace. Worth every penny. We didn't, just because Ray Davis and Ty Johnson are good, doesn't mean we couldn't put a weapon of 4 in there. And we bitch and bitch and bitch that there's no wide receiver weapons. There's no weapons on this team. Well, 4 is the biggest playmaker other than 17. So it had to get done. It was relatively reasonable. And we move on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's not only just reasonable. I think that it was in line with the market. You talked about Kyron Williams and the contract that he signed the previous week, and everybody kind of started. What did we say? Like, okay, this might be the template. This might move negotiations along. And I think that you're absolutely right that it might have hurt James Cook on the bottom dollar, but you can't really balk at $30 million. I mean, you can't balk at it. You got to take it. And it's a situation where the position that he plays, he would have been smart to take it. And obviously he would have been dumb to not take it. So I'm really happy. It's good vibes all around. It's not anything that you wanted as a distraction. I never wanted to think, what is James Cook doing on this 3rd down run as he approaches the sideline or as he approaches the hole? Is he making business decisions and different things like that? All of that type of stuff is nightmarish. We remember Bills Mafia thinking about that kind of stuff with Stephon Gilmore back in the day. Like, man, I don't think we're going to be able to keep this guy. He looks like he wants to get out. And then all of a sudden, he doesn't make a tackle. And what's the post-game show doing? All they're doing is flooding calls, bashing Stephon Gilmore because they thought he made a business decision on a tackle. I didn't want that. I didn't want any of that type of drama. I thought that it's unnecessary. And as we transition, I think that it's important for the 2025 Buffalo Bills to have all eyes focused, because as we're getting ready to talk about, we still got some injury shit we got to work through. So I'm not in the least bit sweating this thing. If you are one of Bills Mafia, as we transition before, but I gotta say this to the people I've been fighting with on Twitter. If you're one of Bills Mafia that says running back is replaceable, I understand what you mean. Overall, your overall viewpoint, I understand it. Yes, running back is replaceable. However, the explosiveness is not. So if James Cook, if I hand the ball off to James Cook and he beats around the edge and then he beats a safety on an angle and he takes what should have been maybe a 7-yard run and he takes it to the house, it's hard to quantify his replaceable value, because Ty Johnson plus Ray Davis, they might get the 7 yards. They might get 5. They might get 12. Neither one of them are breaking it out to the house. And I just think that it's invaluable. I think, and it's not always a touchdown, explosive play. They define explosive plays for a running back as 15 yards and over. James Cook feasts on that type of shit. I mean, how many highlights did we see of him last year feasting on big runs, taking something that could have been small and I mean making it a much bigger
Yeah.
deal. His speed is real deal, man. He beats safeties with the angles. He
and
beats them.
and he's gotten better between the tackles, and he's
Sure
become
has.
more prevalent. He's
He
become
sure has.
more relevant in the passing game, especially as 17 matures more. He's checking down. He's finding the running back. He's finding the wheel route more than he ever has. And also with with him getting better between the tackles, that's like these short yardage situations that now that's just another weapon to have in there instead of the tush push with Josh Allen that we all know is crazy. So we're so close every year, Rob. We have to be perfect, doesn't exist, right? But there's great and then there's close to perfect. And
Mhm.
you have to be close to perfect to have any chance in this league. It's just straight up. You have to be close to perfect. And a distraction like this, just like you said, a possibility of James Cook taking business decisions brings us automatically out of that tier. Just something little like that brings us out of the tier. So get it done. Be close to perfect. Let's try to do it again.
Let's try to do it again is absolutely right. Tonight's episode presented by and sponsored by Taste of Buffalo Pizzeria, here in Huntersville,
Yeah.
North Carolina, down here where I am in Charlotte. I know, listen, Buffalo, y'all don't need it where DT is. Y'all have pizza spots and great sub shops on every other corner in every town in Western New York. It's one of the most it's literally probably number one besides the Bills. It's number two besides the Bills and my family. It's number three then is the food. I miss the Buffalo food so much. Listen, when I go to Taste the Buffalo Pizzeria, DT, I feel like I'm back at home. What is that? I don't even remember. I know that after every Bills game, I either could get Jim's on the late night tip, or I can hit up one of the, oh man, I can't remember that one spot that's open till like 4 a.m. and I always hit them up. Oh man, I can't remember. But listen, doesn't matter. Buffalo's got plenty of great food, plenty of great pizza, plenty of great subs and wings. Listen, Taste of Buffalo Pizzeria down here in Huntersville, North Carolina. Any of the Bills Mafia down here in Charlotte, you gotta hit them up. Shout out to my girl Jen Battaglia, her and her family running a great shop over there. Check them out. tasteofbuffalopizzeria.com. Listen, man, they will make you feel like you're back at home like DT is right now. Now
we get a pie in October, Rob.
You damn right we are. We get a lot more than the pie. We get a lot.
Yeah.
I've been working on a lot of things. Jen Battaglia,
right.
they good peoples, man. I've been going to them ever since I moved down here, man. They do, honestly, all jokes aside, they make me feel like I'm back home with their food. It is nostalgic. Now, DT, it's funny as we transition. Bills are in Chicago, the Windy City. For those of you who don't know, it is not because it is windy. It is because of all the political jargon and stuff that used to be going around back in the 1900s and Al Capone and stuff like that. So that's why they call it the Windy City. But I know that it's lazy. Everybody thinks it's because it's windy. It's not because it's windy. It's because of a lot of other stuff back in the 1900s. Listen, DT, Bills are in the Windy City. And news came out today from Sal Capaccio. He was following joint practice. I know that a lot of Bills Mafia is hoping, like I'm hoping, that hopefully everything went well today and you don't have to put out any of the starters on Sunday night. I don't know what Sean McDermott's thinking. I know that Josh Allen said, I don't think I need it, but if they tell me to go out there, I will. What did you hear from today from joint practice? Because I was following on Buffalo Rumblings, Sal Capaccio's posts. Looks like there was some plays made. Looks like the defense was giving up some stuff too, from what I hear. But listen, it's a controlled practice, and I almost think that it's better than a preseason game because you can manufacture your own scenarios. You can't do that in a preseason game. I used to say, go ahead and knock out the preseason altogether and just NFL Network air the live joint practices and viewers. I mean, we watched the fucking draft. We watched the draft combine.
I would rather watch a joint practice than a preseason game.
I would. I think that it's more beneficial, and that's universal. That's not a hot take. Everybody that you talk to within the coaching community and fans that follow it have all said that you get more productive work. How about that? Like, can everybody give me that? It's more productive work. I understand that the preseason games are cool for the kids to go to when it's not as rowdy of an atmosphere as it is for a regular season. But DT, what did you hear about it today? They did joint practice today with the Chicago Bears in Chicago, and we've got a game coming up on Sunday night. I hope that McDermott saw everything he needed to see. Let everybody.
Yeah.
Deion Dawkins had a back this week. Like, let everybody just chill on Sunday. They don't need to go out there.
I agree. And again, it's so annoying. 8:00 Sunday. Like, come on. We're going to have so many primetime games during the season. Put this preseason game at 1:00 and let's get the hell out of here. Like, come on. Like, but whatever. Today, the couple things I heard, some of the obviously 17 didn't miss. I mean, that's what we hear always, and that's what
That's
we
right.
see
That's
literally
right.
always. So whatever. I heard Keon Coleman ate a little bit, which is
Yep.
nice.
I heard
What
that.
my biggest takeaway of Keon Coleman eating is a situation like this. This is giving zero confidence. Like
Confidence.
17's doing this on purpose.
Hmm.
17's doing this on purpose. Like, all right, we're gonna put you up against these dudes. I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give you some. You're gonna come down with them, and you're gonna know you can dog on dudes. And I think that's crucial for this, for Zero to be, because lives off that energy. He's got that dog in him a little bit, and he lives off the hype and that kind of like Stephon Diggs did in a way. Different players completely, but
Right. I know what you
he
mean.
played better under the juice. So I love 17 giving him looks. Capaccio, what I was concerned of, Capaccio was saying good football on both sides. It was just a good team practice. And so what
Hmm.
that tells me is that they were beating our ass at one point of this practice.
I heard that
And
they were getting a lot of
whatever.
stuff on the defense. I heard they were
Yeah.
getting a lot of things that they wanted on the D. I heard that's
Yep.
how what I heard through the grapevine. Hmm.
A lot of things they wanted on the D. Last week in the preseason, they got a lot of things they want. Like the boys, like some of
Backups,
the
love
most
it.
laughable quarterbacks and backup quarterbacks were getting whatever they wanted. So hey, we're not overreacting, but we'd like to see a little more intensity, and that's what we were talking about this year in training camp. Is with this defense is like there's so many open jobs. Like we want to see dogs like out there and like a little bit of tenacity to this defense, not the bend don't break whatever, but like a little more like meanness to it. So we'll
Mhm.
see. Again, not overreacting, but knowing that it's Cabaccio saying, yeah, we got our ass kicked a little bit on defense.
I mean, it is what it is. I really I am reserving the right to panic because shout out WGR Jeremy White preseason pledge. I take the preseason pledge. I didn't care last week. I really don't care what happens Sunday either. It really does come down to me about injuries. And as we talk about injuries, there's some guys that are still nursing. A little bit of good news. Josh Palmer came back. DT. It sounds like the safety tandem came back. Rapp and Bishop. Not only coming back in a limited fashion, but I heard that they participated today.
Yeah.
I think that it's important because I was prompted to listen to Greg Coleman by WGR this morning. Jeremy White was talking about how Brett Coleman had like this little piece on YouTube talking about just the 2025 Bills as we approach the season, and talked about how like they were scared of their safeties last year. So I was at work. I'm not doing anything but just making calls. And I was like, let me listen to it. And like, McDermott changed his defense last year, and he in respects to the secondary and what they do in cover 4 versus, those half quarter. And like DT, I'm kind of concerned because I've never been really a big believer in Bishop. I understand that his athletic scores and all that type of stuff are through the roof, but I do think that injury prone is a thing. I do. Now I could be in the minority on that. Excuse me. I know that not everybody thinks about it. Everybody sometimes thinks that it's luck. I do think that not that you got injured so you will get injured, but there could be certain things about your body that just this dude can't stay on the field, man. I need him on the field.
Yeah.
I need him on the field. You don't know how many people were talking shit about DeMar Hamlin on Twitter after the game. Great effort, DeMar, on that when I'm like, he already got beat on the angle. What do you want him to do? You want him in the preseason to sprint and then dive at the goal line to not even catch the guy? He got beat on the angle. I'm not more excited about DeMar Hamlin playing back there than anyone else, but Bishop, you gotta be there, man. Like I need you. And it sounded like Sean McDermott was a little bit perturbed last week when he was talking about the injuries. Not that he's like, oh, Cole wants to be out there. These guys all want to be out there. He's like, it's time. And I think that is the right tone to strike. It's kind of time to like get on the practice field, man.
Yeah, I like that. He knows that like that was the biggest thing last year where he didn't have that time in the training camp, and then it stuck with him all season, and then it came time for where we really needed him to play late in the year, and he just wasn't ready, and so it is like it's not rocket science there. Like Sean's exactly right. Like it is time, boys. Let's go. Like I get you're hurt, but like you are the piece to this. Like we need you. We don't got anybody else. We just paid our running back $40 million. We don't have any more money. So this is it.
I love it.
But Yeah, I agree. I like the urgency. I like that kind of hard assness of it. Like, because the league probably has gotten a little softer. And I'm not saying these guys aren't hurt and they should be out there. I'm not saying anything like that. But hey, like, we're again close to perfect. Great. Like, to be close to perfect, you are part of this game plan. You are part of this scheme. We need you to be out here. And if you're feeling it a little bit and you probably could go, we need you to go.
Yeah, I kind of need you to get on the field and get some reps in if you can. And again, the preseason game is notwithstanding. I don't need those guys. I don't need to see them on Sunday night. I just need I need them to be practicing for sure as we start to approach.
I like the intensity. A good roster in Chicago out there. So
Sure.
I'm sure there was some banging. I'm sure there was some banging today, and I like
Sure.
that. But yeah, I don't need Sunday night because I don't want to watch Sunday night. So whatever.
I just don't want the starters to get hurt. The DT is just detesting the fact that he has to watch Sunday night football on Fox at 8
I already got to
o'clock.
do this. I already got to do this so much. I already got to show up to work all puffy eyed.
Groggy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Now, listen, as we transition, it's funny because DT, yes, the season is getting closer. Now, why did I name the episode the way that I did? Good vibes. And now everybody should be able to get in the chance to start to embracing those good vibes. Boy, will I tell you that Mike Greenberg tried to shit on those good vibes the other night. And it was funny because everything that you're about to hear, Bills Mafia, Nickel City Crew, is true. It is all factual. The problem that I have with it is that I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with it because nothing is changing right now, obviously. Yeah. And I'm not looking for anything to change right now. Obviously, I have my preferences. Everybody eats. We're not backtracking. We're heading forward. Listen, this is what it is. But if you didn't hear it on Twitter or Instagram, it was been passed around. And it's funny because I tagged everybody, DT, at WGR. I tagged the morning host, the afternoon host. I tagged everybody I could at WGR. And then I woke up this morning, and I'm not saying that it's because of me, because obviously the actual clip was floating around. But DT, Mike Greenberg on NFL Get Up, excuse me, not NFL, but ESPN Get Up the other morning, he went over how Josh Allen is the best quarterback to never appear in the Super Bowl. And he laid out a case where it's not even debatable, and it's not. The only other person that it could be close to him is Lamar Jackson, and Lamar and Josh haven't had the same type of playoff success. He not only laid out how Josh Allen has been the best quarterback in playoff history, and he's got the stats. You're about to hear it. He's got the stats to prove it. But DT, he also laid out how it's historic how much we've been lacking. And I think that is the thing that strikes a tenor with a lot of the Bills Mafia, and it obviously does with me. We've talked about it ad nauseum. Terry Pagula is probably not making a change anytime soon, in part because of the Buffalo Sabres, how shitty they are, and the fact that he got, quote unquote, lucky getting Sean McDermott. Brandon Beane comes in, then they draft Josh Allen. It works. You know what I mean? And not to take away credit for them drafting Josh or anything like that. They picked him and it worked. They didn't pick Josh Rosen, so we'll give them their flowers on that. But it's kind of a situation, DT, where what did we talk about before? I don't know how, unless we are ravaged by injuries, which everyone loves to talk about, I don't know how many more years I can do this, DT. I'm not saying Nickel City Crew. I'm not saying being a Bills fan. I'm talking about believing. I've believed now since the AFC Championship game when we got blown out. The next year, I thought we could win the Super Bowl. I have felt that way, DT, coming into every single season, just like 2025. I feel like we can win the Super Bowl this year. I felt like that back in 13 seconds year going into that season after that AFC Championship game. I have felt like that 21, 22, 23, 24. I felt like that. And the way that Mike Greenberg talked about the stats and laid them out, it really, I said it on Twitter, man, this shit is sobering. Holy crap, DT. And you listen to the clip, and we'll play it for the audience, but you listen to it as well. It's not a fun listen, DT.
Yeah, it's Yeah, it's not, man. It's tough. It's like what we talk like we're not just being homers here, Rob, when we say this. He's not a Phillip Rivers. He's not a Drew Brees got one. He's not a
Dan
Phillip
Marino.
Rivers. He's not a Dan Marino. Like
Mm-mm.
this
He's
dude is
not
one of the
Barkley.
greatest of all time. Like we will never, especially on the
Probably
Bills,
not.
but we're
Probably not.
never going to, especially on the Bills, but we probably won't see another quarterback in the NFL like this. Like he is unstoppable. He's bigger, faster, stronger than everyone. He's got an arm better than everyone. He is now smarter than everyone. Like he's unstoppable. And the stats prove it. And we're not just being homers. And yeah, it is tough. Are you going to play it? It is tough.
I have to.
All right, play it.
And I know
play
that
it.
everybody's heard it. But for those members of Bill's Mafia and Nickel City Crew are some of our listeners who have it. This is Mike Greenberg again on ESPN's Get Up. This was yesterday. And when I caught it, I did not catch this until late last night. DT, when I tell you that we've been having some conversations on Twitter today between the Mafia. It has been crazy. Some Chiefs fans have chimed in and are trolling, and you'll never beat 15. And I mean, we have had a battle over this. Please listen to Mike Greenberg. He's a professional, and he lays it out very eloquently.
What is at stake in this 2025 NFL season for various players? We stumbled onto this. Josh Allen has the chance to remove his name from a place that no name ever wants to occupy, namely the greatest quarterback never to play in a Super Bowl, because he is that. And it's getting late early for his chances. Let me explain. Allen has already started 13 playoff games. The most that any quarterback ever started before making the big game was 12. Allen has thrown 25 postseason touchdowns. The most anyone else threw before making the Super Bowl was just 17. That was Peyton Manning, by the way. So Allen is well behind the curve. And candidly, it's not as though he can play much better. The numbers say he might be the best postseason quarterback ever. So he's thrown 25 playoff touchdowns. There are a total of 21 quarterbacks who've thrown at least 20. He's the only one not to start a Super Bowl. In his 4 playoff runs that ended in losses to Kansas City, Allen has accounted for 28 touchdowns and 1 turnover. That is across 10 games and 424 passes and runs.
Bro.
His touchdown to interception ratio in the playoffs, by a wide margin, the best of all time. It's over 6-1. Mahomes is second at less than 5-1. In playoff history, teams that score at least 3 touchdowns with 0 turnovers are 140-19. Allen is the only quarterback to lose more than 1 of those games. He has lost 3 of them. All in the last 4 years,
Oh, my God.
all against Kansas City. So the case on that part of this is closed. Josh Allen is the best quarterback never to start a Super Bowl. The open question is, being still only 29, is there still another level he can take this to change that?
Now, here's one of the things that I first of all, let's not skip over some of those stats, DT. Holy crap! The one about the KC losses. He said the year that they ended in KC losses. That's 4 out of 5. I mean, we all know what's going on. We only lost to Joe Burrow other than 15. 28 touchdowns and 1 turnover. 28, and he said that's across 10 games and 400 something. He said attempts. He said attempts, and so that included passing attempts and running the ball. Holy shit, DT.
Yeah. And it's not even. Again, it started with best quarterback to not start a Super Bowl,
not start one. Mm-hmm.
But then these are all-time playoff stats at the end.
Correct.
28-1 is an all-time playoff stat. That's the best in NFL history in the playoffs.
He's got 25 touchdowns and 4 picks or whatever it is in the playoffs, period. Not including
13 playoff games. I didn't see a playoff game for the majority of my life.
Yo, DT, they said that the players that have gone on, teams that have had 3 touchdowns, and that's what I put on Twitter, 0 turnovers. What did they tell us? What did they tell us earlier in Josh Allen's career?
He turns the ball over too much.
He's reckless, right?
Yeah.
He's reckless and this and that, and he sugar high Josh. We saw that in Houston. He's pitching the ball to Dawson Knox. We get all that.
Crazy.
But it was crazy. I know, but he has calmed down. He has changed. If you guys want to give all the credit to Joe Brady on that, fine. No problem. You guys want to give all to Joe Brady? You know I was a Dable guy. No problem. They listen, for whatever reason, whether it's Haley Steinfeld, the queen of the mafia, whether it's Joe Brady, whatever, he has changed and he has found a way to be more efficient with the football. I still don't bank on turnovers being a stat that you can pass on to every year. Did you remember we fumbled the ball 4 times against Kansas City in the AFC Championship game, and we got back all 4? The ball is oblong. So I will never expect and anticipate that the turnovers are going to be the same every year. It was a great year. It was an historically low year for the offense. DT, they are 140-19 if you score 3 touchdowns in the playoffs and you don't give the ball to your opponent. That was like, it almost knocked me out my seat, man.
Yeah.
I had like a come to Jesus moment when I heard that shit last night. I was like, well, I literally immediately made 2 posts. I immediately made 2 posts on Twitter. It blew my mind.
Maybe the only logical explanation to this is the new stadium will be not on like a Indian burial ground or something, and the curse will be lifted.
Oh,
I thought it was OJ. I thought it was
God.
OJ
it wasn't
last
OJ.
year, and it wasn't.
He built that house. That's the house OJ built.
So if it's not OJ dying last year to lift the curse, maybe it's the new stadium, because like what's the other explanation other than some sort of other force getting us like he is the best. He's not even close to the top and been real good. He has been by far the best.
140-19. And that's what they preach to us. We preach it to, you know what I mean, the Nate and Bobby's teams of football. You know, they're 14, middle school and 12U football. Don't turn the ball over.
That winning percentage, if that's a winning percentage, it's like what is that? I mean, Nickel City now, don't get me. It's like 95. It's like 95%.
That is a lot of wins and very few losses. And out of those 19 losses, nobody has more than 1. He has 3. It's just crazy. So to me, now how did I end that up on Twitter? And I know the Twitter people go get ready to hit me up. I'm not checking Twitter right now, so y'all can kiss my black ass. But listen, I do know that a lot of people will say it's not just on the defense. Josh Allen had the ball last 2 years. DT, I've gotten bludgeoned with that recently on Twitter. I want your take. I won't even say my take, because if you're asking for facts, did the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen in the offense have the ball the last 2 years with a chance to win it? The answer to that question is yes, they did.
Yes.
What happened after that? Fine. We can dissect it if you want. I tend to think about what happened prior to that to make it a close game. You can easily say we didn't score enough points. No problem. Where it wasn't even a close game, whatever the case may be, that's fine. For me, you already know where I'm going, man. I have a tough time continuing to give McDermott passes because that he has injuries. I understand that injuries are sometimes a reason and not an excuse.
Yeah.
It's getting hard. And that shit last night from Mike Greenberg yesterday, that made it even. It was like a horse pill I got to swallow. That's hard, man.
So my take is this, Rob. It's a few defensive stops away from being a historic NFL team. Like it's a few defensive stops away from being, Josh Allen's the great, and he just runs through people, and the defense makes a few stops, and they win every game by at least 14. Like, it's a few defensive stops away from being the greatest team in NFL history because of 17. And that's what it is. And that's what it comes down to. And that's the pressure on Sean McDermott. And that's the pressure on drafting 14 fucking defensive players. Like, I want, and not hearing shit really about anybody all preseason. And again, I'm not freaking out on the preseason, but I was ready to hear about some dogs, and I haven't heard shit, Rob, So we're going to see it in a month.
Right.
And that's where it gets very critical, because we are a couple stops away from winning these games easily.
Yeah.
Josh Allen gets the lead. Boom. You make a few stops. We win 14 easy. And then, the Bills are crazy. The Bills are so good. The Bills, that was the craziest Bills team ever.
Josh Allen. But why? So then why? Because I know it's not you and you're not on Twitter. I get hit in the head with that. He's got to do more. Sean McDermott is dealing with an injury-riddled defense. It's on Josh to do more. And I look at that shit and I'm like,
and he could have scored on those when he had the ball. He could have scored on both of those possessions.
Okay, I heard
he could have.
He clocked out of work He clocked out of work in the AFC Championship game, scoring 29 points on the road. You are not going to ever get me to tell you that that was not a good day. Yes, he started the game shaky. He looked nervous. He threw 2 would-be picks. I just watched the game the other day, a couple weeks ago. He threw 2 would-be picks on the first fucking drive. I get it. He can do more. And yes, the offense has not been perfect the last 2 years when he had the ball for a chance to go win it, or he had a good chance to tie it. You and I were there. Bass misses the kick. No problem. We felt pretty deflated walking back to the car.
Had Chris Jones shoved into him and
we felt pretty bad. I remember the fact in that game that they were like inches away from scoring a touchdown and making a blowout, and then All-Pro Poe comes up with an incredible forced fumble, and then on a 4th down, my head coach, instead of putting out the all-world quarterback, puts out DeMar Hamlin to run a sneak punt, and that was right in front of our faces. Was it not, DT? Am I lying? Section 104, stand up. That was right in front of our faces, and you and I are looking at each other like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
So he skates on that, and then last year, they want to tell you about injuries and that Dalton Kincaid dropped the ball. Oh, I'm sorry. That other year, don't forget that Stephon Diggs dropped the ball. And, all the Stephon Diggs hated he dropped the no problem. And then the next year, last year, it's Kincaid drops the ball.
And people don't talk about last year. Last year, he's a 40-yard dime to Mac Hollins away from getting blown out last year. They were on that roll. Like, if we didn't score right with Mac Hollins before the first half and go stop, score, stop.
You talking about that pretty pass?
Yeah. That dime to Mac Hollins
too. Oh yeah.
We were on the verge there. And what did he do? He brings us back, and he always brings us back. We're never out of it with 17. But like, if we just had, you're right, it's just getting more clear here, Rob. If we just had a little bit of bite, a little bit of stop, we'd be the greatest team of all time because of him. And so that's what it is. It is on him. It is on SD. It is on SD.
I don't know.
As much as Hard Knocks this week, when he talked about, he had that whole speech about this guy came in, he fucking threw the chair through the window, and we all got pumped up, and we went out there, we won, whatever. And then the next week, the coach ain't obviously breaking another window, and it was just kind of whatever. So I need consistency. I get that.
That's I like that message. I liked it.
But yes, there needs to be a sort of desperation, Rob, to be honest. There needs to be a desperation. This dude is the best ever. Statistically, this dude is the best ever with the media. This dude is the best ever. Fit to Buffalo, a thoroughbred dude. This dude is the best ever. This is desperado mode to make a fucking stop and get us the ring.
Oh no, they tell us, DT. I'm not going to keep pandering to Twitter.
I was back and forth. I was advocate.
They tell us the injuries. DT. They say it's injuries.
That set me off. That set me off because I'm going to be seeing a lot of family this weekend from out of town, and they're going to be talking uneducated Josh Allen shit, and that's going to pop in, and I'm going to say he's the greatest ever. He's the greatest ever.
Listen. Injuries are not. I'm saying this for Nickel City Crew. I'm saying it for Bills Mafia, but mainly I'm saying it for my Twitter fighters. I love y'all. We're all Bills Mafia, and I promise you, I can continue to box y'all. I have the stamina. I'm getting ready to turn 40 on Sunday.
You love that. I
promise you that I love to argue. I promise y'all I can fight y'all. Injuries are not always an excuse. Sometimes they are a reason. However, if your expertise is the defensive side of the football, then I do need you to come up with something. The margins are thin. We are not talking about being outclassed. It's not the AFC Championship game the first time against KC when they were clearly the better person. I like to rail on McDermott that he kicked too many field goals. We still was getting our ass whooped that day, even if we had gone for him, unless we get every single one. And we go for it every time that I wanted to, and we didn't. He kicked a lot of field goals. Yes, it would have made the game closer. We were not as good as Kansas City that year. After that, from 13 seconds on, we have been their peer. We are on their level. Don't get it twisted, Bills Mafia. Don't get it twisted, Nickel City Crew. Patrick Mahomes has the rings. He is not above or elite in respects to he's looking down on Josh Allen. He has the rings, and his fan base will tell you that he's better than Josh Allen, and a lot of the media will tell you that. And I understand that he's not a better quarterback than our quarterback. 17 is the most athletically gifted quarterback that God has put on this earth, I think. and I told y'all a couple weeks ago, I can't tell the future. I'd play the lotto. So I don't know who's coming down the line. But right now, and from the past, Josh Allen is that motherfucker. So because he is that dude, I need everything to be urgent. I need everything to be desperate, DT. You hit on that word, and that strikes a chord with me as we begin to wrap up tonight. I need everything to be desperate. That's why I didn't like Everybody Eats, and I still don't like. I have already conceded. I will shut the fuck up if it works again 2 years in a row. I will not talk about Everybody Eats if it works again with Joe Brady. I want him to have weapons. I'm so happy that James is back because he has another weapon. I want him to have everything at his disposal so that we can blow out Kansas City. We can't blow out Kansas City giving up 35 points per game every time we see them. That doesn't make sense to me. So if y'all don't want me to lay it at McDermott, Twitter fam, then tell me where else to lay it other than just it's injuries every year, DT. Yes, Christian Benford went down. What did you say? You had a perfect rebuttal to that. He should have known that he was not going to last the game. Coach Elam up. I'm not saying that he wasn't
close to perfect.
But get
close
him
to
ready.
perfect. Close to perfect. Better than great. You're never going to be perfect. Close to perfect is what it takes. And shit like that.
Right. I just have a hard time every year giving him a pass for injuries. I'm not going to be able to do that every year. And 13 seconds wasn't even about injuries. So I'm just not going to keep giving him this pass every single season. That's me personally. Y'all don't have to agree with me. And I love when we don't agree. So that's fine. Now, as we begin to wrap up tonight, the Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report is presented by Queen City Vintage. You see it on the bottom of your screen. Listen, our boy Nick is running a great storefront right across from 40 Thieves on Elmwood. Listen, check out Queen City Vintage. They've got all of your Buffalo Bills, Sabres. They've got all the nostalgic stuff that I grew up on, DT. I'm turning 40 on Sunday. You young buck compared to me. You're not quite in that class yet. I remember the 90s Bills. Those are the Bills that shaped me behind me. Listen, head on over to Queen City Vintage. They are, I think, still might be featured on Hard Knocks. I think it's coming. I mean, it's been a slurp fest thus far, but I think we're starting to get some other stuff. I really did enjoy DT the what's it called? The Bills Mafia view of Hard Knocks last week. I did enjoy that. So I'm not going to keep shitting on Hard Knocks the entire time. But listen, head on over to Queen City Vintage. They are sponsoring our giveaways starting week 1. Bills hosting the Ravens that Friday night before on our show, our live show. We've got a giveaway for you. We're ready. We're ready for you, Bills Mafia. We're ready for you, Nickel City Crew. So please head on over, show them some love. Really, really popular storefront over there on Elmwood, Queen City Vintage. DT, talk to me about your tailgate report. I heard that you were entrusted with some responsibilities that a man in his life, he can only be hoped to be honored at least once. Now, some men are, they're just so popular they get honored more than once. I've been honored once. Well, shout out to my best man, Ace Boogie. You were honored to be the best man. Part of your responsibilities is making sure that bachelor party goes good, DT. Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report. Holla at the crew. How did you do?
Queen City Vintage Tailgate Report. We had my boy, my main man Kai last week, the avid listener every week. Him and his fiance Paige are listening, but big diehard Vikings fans. But that's okay. That's okay. They support the Bills in the AFC, and I've been traveling with them to games, to Minneapolis, to Chicago last year, to see the Vikings play, as well as they come to Bills games with me. So was honored as the best man. We went out to Geneva on the Lake, Ohio. A nice little town, kind of not too far from Buffalo, only about a 2-hour drive.
I was going to say, how far was the drive?
Yep, about 2 hours right from Buffalo, right north of Cleveland, right past Erie.
Okay.
And right off the 90, not too far. You're looking right on Lake Ontario, Lake Erie. Sorry. And it's just like it's like an old school, got a little carnival vibe, got a little beach town, lake town vibe to it. All the bars are indoor, outdoor, live music going. There's all these places you can go up and order something to eat right on the strip, kind of that type of style. Was really cool. We had a great group. with us. Nice place. We rented. It's a nice town. Good weekend just to kind of get with everybody. As you get older, these times are limited. So we cherish
Right.
them even more. And I
Right.
think I can speak for the boys. We had a great time. Speak for the
Sure.
Bachelor Kai. He would agree. He had a great time. Now
That's
again,
what's
nothing too crazy. Nothing too well. I mean, depends on your definition of crazy.
no
But
problem. Well,
but
that's part of
nothing
your duty
like
too.
we did. It
It's
wasn't
all good.
bougie. It wasn't nice dinners. It was just the boys getting together for a weekend and having a good time. And we
Sounds
really
great.
did. I'd recommend it to all the listeners. Geneva on the Lake, Ohio. It can be, there's wineries there, there's bars there, you can get a nice like chalet right on the water. You can get a winery spot. It's a lot of options. Take the lady, take the boys, take the gals, whatever you got to do. Only
Mhm.
2 hours away. We had a great weekend, great time. But I'll tell you, Rob, as you're coming up on the big 40 this weekend, I'm well into my 30s now, and this week was a look up at the sky and say, save it for Bill season, because you don't got it no more, big dog. You don't got it no more, big dog. A couple days in a row
I
just
love
isn't
that
in your
shit.
cards as this a grown man. It just ain't happening no more. So
I love
we
it. I
we
love
we
it.
did it. We left it all out on the field, if you will. It's Friday. It's Friday. We're back a week
Oh
later,
my goodness, you were
and
dragging ass out there, huh? You were dragging
hey,
ass this
but
week.
it was a blast, man. It was a blast. So
That's funny.
shout out to Kai. Shout out to Kai
Shout
and
out.
Paige. Going to be a great wedding coming up this October, and
Mhm.
yeah, we had a blast.
That's what's up. Yeah, it sounds like you're approaching where it's listen, man. Are you dragging ass by the time you get back home? You're not able to recover.
Yeah.
Your recovery time. You got to get in the cold tub. You gotta actually work to get back to square one, man. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love watching you get older, get more mature, and yeah, I love that you're facing that realization because now,
Yeah.
like you just said, my birthday Sunday, I got to face the realization that there's going to be a 4 in front of my age for the next decade. So, like, yeah, I got it. It's all good. Hey, listen, it's healthy, DT. Don't go too hard. You can't do it all the time. Listen, save it for the Bill season, like you said. I love it, man.
Save
You're
for
absolutely
Gander.
right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kai and his lovely bride. Their wedding coming up, and I'm glad that you fulfilled your duties for sure. Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report on my NDT. It is back. Summer is over. The oldest kings, Bobby and Nate, they went on a damn grand tour. It seemed like they were all over. They went to Cedar Point. Then they went to Buffalo. They were gone for 10 days. They just got back last night. I've had my youngest king, Quincy. He's been with me. He talks about flag football and asks me when it is going to start almost every day. If not every day, every other day. When does flag football start again? Okay, so it's after I go back to school. Yeah, end of September, son. End of September. Okay, so what's when? I mean, amped up. So we went and got him some cleats on Tuesday. Me and his little sister, Princess Ivy, we went and got him some cleats, got him right. He's ready to go. He's got his mouth guard. He's ready to go. So
I love
good
that.
he's good to
Yeah.
go for the future. Tomorrow is the Jamboree. I have news to report to Nickel City Crew. Nate Crippen, my middle king, has been named QB1
Let's go.
for his 12U team. So
Okay.
I'm excited about that. He's QB1. He had to earn it, and I'm excited about the opportunity for him. I don't coach him anymore. I literally was talking to him last night, and I was like, "Do you know why I don't coach anymore?" And he was like, and he said something, and I was like, "No." I said, "Do I sometimes make you nervous when I coach you basketball?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "That's exactly why I don't coach you in football. I just want to let him be free, DT. Let the coaches get him. I'll be bad on the sideline. I want him to spread his wings and be as free as possible." So he's got his little jamboree. It's like their preseason down here in Charlotte.
Okay.
They got the little preseason. They'll play a couple games against some teams, shortened games. It's not a full game. It's shortened. It's literally like joint practice. It's like a little mini preseason game for all of the kids in the county. And they'll be doing it at their respective schools. So we got the jamboree tomorrow. I coach his same AAU basketball team during a tournament. We've got a back to school tournament. So Nate can't, he's QB1. Listen, I got obligations. I can't, but I was still at practice last night for my AAU team that he is on. And I will be at the tournament tomorrow. We've got a back to school tournament tomorrow morning. Really excited about it. Some teams there coming. My team looked good. I mean, I worked them hard last night. I worked them hard. We talked about discipline. We talked about respect as we get back to school, respecting your parents, respecting your teachers, respecting even your peers, the kids that you go to school with. and we're ready. We got a back to school tournament tomorrow, so that's me, man. And then I guess Sunday, I guess the clock gonna turn and I'll turn 40.
Hey,
So I
big
guess
4-0. Let's go, Rob. Hell yeah, man. Well,
I guess
congrats
that's
to
how it
that,
goes.
dude. And happy early birthday for sure. And I got to give a birthday shout out. Well, it'll be on the tailgate, report next week. But Grandma Will, 100th birthday, the centennial this weekend.
100.
So heading down to Panama and
That's
getting
Marv
with the
Levy territory.
Yep,
That's
100
Coach Levy.
150 RSVP'd for the 100th birthday. It's going to be a banger, Rob. 100 plus
Whoa.
people,
Whoa.
relatives I've never met. So looking forward to
That's
it. But
tomorrow.
yeah,
That's
tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Congratulations then to Grandma Rupsick. That's an accomplishment. You want us to act like it's not when they talk about Marvin. He was out there walking at the Hall of Fame game. I said, how many of y'all motherfuckers gonna be walking around in 100? Like, some of y'all might be long 6 feet deep. Such an accomplishment. Awesome that she's lived this great life. So congratulations. Then yeah, absolutely. Happy birthday to her. I can't even think, like, I can't even fathom being around for 100 years, DT. That's wild to me, man. Listen, out there, Nickel City Crew, Bills Mafia. Listen, out there, we got some football this weekend. DT's mad about it. You don't have to be mad about it. You don't have to be a curmudgeon like him. The Bills play Sunday night, 8:00. Just pray Josh Allen doesn't play. Pray the starters don't play. And pray that everyone gets out of that game healthy. That's all you need to really worry about in the preseason. I understand sometimes we get a little bit hyperbolic. We get a little bit amped up and a little bit nervous about what's going on in the preseason. It's all good. Everybody stays healthy. It's the practice stuff. That's what I want from Hard Knocks. I'm sick of the slurp fest. I want to see what's going on at practice. I want more behind the scenes. I want to see how they're preparing for the season. That's what matters. How the reps that you're getting, are they quality reps? What are you putting on tape, as the coaches say? That's what I'm interested in. So we'll see. I'm not worried about it. I've got the preseason. I've taken the preseason pledge. It's all good, DT. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm with it. Let's go. Let's get through the weekend and stay healthy.
Stay healthy. Listen out there. Listen, Bills Mafia, Nickel City Crew. Spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts said out loud. Hit him with a Go Bills, DT. Hit him with a
Go Bills. 1-1, I guess. Go Bills.
Go Bills. I love